All right, you're probably well aware there was another shooting. 10 people dead, 9 students, 1 teacher at the time of making this in Santa Fe High School in Texas. And it's very sad. It's very stupid that this keeps happening. My heart goes out to everyone affected by this. Trying to make videos every weekday. I was in the middle of making a silly video, and it felt weird to not acknowledge this because I was talking about news. But then if I acknowledged this, it felt weird for it to be part of a silly video. So I'm bringing it up now. This isn't, I'm not putting ads on this or anything. This isn't a way to capitalize on anything. I want to make a video every day, so I have to talk about what's happening. When this kind of thing happens, it's natural to think, what can be done? How can we stop this from happening? And we've been having that argument for decades now. And maybe there is no one thing we can do to prevent this from ever happening again, but there's probably some things that we could try. The problem is we seem to just have a large ideological divide on what we think is the right way to go, so we don't do anything. It's really hard to talk about anything right now that isn't going to be divisive when what all I want to do is just make sure everyone feels okay. At the same time, I have to be honest. I have to say what's on my mind, and what's on my mind is I think we need to do more to prevent these things. And there are many specific ways we could try to do things that will lead to huge arguments. I just saw in the news that Governor Greg Abbott says he thinks something should be done, laws should be passed, and we should sit down and talk about them in ways that don't encroach on lawful gun owners. And I agree. Some will say more guns. Every teacher has to have a gun, or have an armed guard at every school. Maybe some level of that would prevent some gun death. On the other hand, maybe some stricter regulations would prevent gun death. When you talk about stricter regulations, though, people get afraid that all their guns are going to be taken away. When you talk about putting more guns in places, people are afraid then we're just going to feed this gun-crazy culture and make everything worse. I think the solution is not to do nothing, though, which is what we are doing. And that's a big problem. I'm also personally in the camp that many of you will disagree with, that more guns is not the answer. However, I'm willing to admit that maybe armed guards in a school would lead to less tragedy. So, I don't know. Let's just argue more in the comments. That's really all this is going to lead to, isn't it? It's either that or I don't put this video up. I don't put anything up. And then I'm doing nothing. I'm generally an optimistic person, and I usually will be willing to try things rather than do nothing. That's what I want to do. So I guess that's the idea I'm putting forth today. We should try something, or try several things. Stop doing nothing. And that's, I guess that's it. I'm just so disappointed that this keeps happening, and saddened, and I hope we can do something. I'll see you on Monday.